God bless football, Billy Gill.
God bless football, Mikey A.
God bless football, Stugotz.
We have the college football semifinals coming up. Got a game down here at the Orange Bowl. We have a game on Friday night as well, the Cotton Bowl. Chris Sims, our buddy, going to the Cotton Bowl.
Oh, God, I hope they lose so bad.
And Lucy is going to join us here in just a second. Is that the team? Do you want Texas to lose more than any of the other four teams?
I mean, yeah, but obviously for all the wrong reasons. Like just to mess with Chris Sims. By the way, happy Thursday. It's a Thursday episode of God Bless Football. And
how about that?
As an added bonus, no Mike Fuentes today. So
Wow.
you're gonna hear from other people.
Like?
No, just Lucy. Lucy's going to be on with us. And Taylor's there, but I don't want to scare Taylor by talking to him because then he's going to get, a little spooked.
Right.
Yeah.
Mikey, are you fired up for this thing? I don't know what I'm doing with college football in this Final Four, but I don't know. It doesn't excite me.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm excited for 5 days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, watching football. It's probably going to be one of the best weekends of the year.
Well, yes, but that's not because of college football. That's because of NFL Super Wild Card
They're
Weekend.
Thursday and Friday.
No, I do love this.
Listen,
Listen, I do love this. The fact that you get a game Thursday night, you get a game Friday night, and then you get the 2 wild card games on Saturday, 3 on Sunday, 1 on Monday. It is a great 5 to 6 days of football. So for that, I am grateful, yes.
It can absolutely let us down. Any of these games can let us down by being blowouts, just being terrible games. But, we thought Texas, Arizona State was going to be a blowout, and we thought that was going to be a bad game. And I was glued to the TV the whole time. So, hey, maybe we get it. Maybe we don't.
Maybe we get it. Maybe we don't.
Right. Are you into it?
Exactly.
Yeah, I think it'll be fun. Give me something to do on a Thursday
football?
night. Yeah, I love football. God bless it. That's
We
what I
all
say.
love football. We host a show called God Bless Football.
Yeah.
Yeah, but nobody likes it like Billy. Nobody
you.
loves it like that.
He
Billy
gets it.
loves football. You're right.
He gets it.
He loves football. Yeah.
Mikey A gets it.
Does anyone love football more than you do?
That's not for me to say. I'm not here to judge others.
I'll say it. Yes.
Thank you, Mikey. Mikey gets
Nobody else
it.
loves it more than you.
Now,
Wait, you're saying yes or no? What are you saying?
I'm saying nobody loves football more than Billy Gill.
here's the thing. As a whole,
Even the Golics?
I love football more
Skulls.
than anyone else, potentially.
Right.
Now, there are people that love aspects of football more than I do.
Yes.
Right. You
Just
love all
specific
of it,
aspects.
Yes.
Yeah, I love all of it.
You love completions, incompletions, penalties. You love
Yeah.
challenge flags. You love all of it.
By
He
the
loves
way,
a good false start.
Yeah. Oh, God, I love that.
By the way, I just want to tell you guys, I would love it if you could go to sportspodcastgroup.com and vote for us for Best American Football Podcast, because you have until Monday to vote for us and have us win again and show all of the naysayers out there that said no, nay. When people said, can they win again? They said nay. And last year, they were right. We did not win last year. So it'd be great to be at the mountaintop again this year if we can. We'd love your vote. Go to sportspodcastgroup.com and vote for us, please.
We would appreciate that very, very much. We appreciate your support. What if it gets to Texas Notre Dame? Who are you guys going to root
Oh, my
for?
gosh.
That would be perfect for
Worst
God Bless
case
Football.
scenario.
So you have Sims versus Golick. Who are we rooting for?
It'd be great for the show. It'd be the worst for my mental health. The worst. I wouldn't want it. Ugh.
We'd be rooting for the Golicks, though, right? I mean,
Probably, right? Because if we're gonna be honest, Chris Sims, a bit of a Johnny come
Doesn't
lately.
care nearly as
He's exactly right. He doesn't actually
care
care
nearly
about
as much.
Texas. Like the Golicks are Notre Dame.
I mean, Mike
football.
has a house in South Bend. You're
Exactly right.
Where's
And
Chris's
no
house
one
in
wants
Austin?
no one
Right.
wants to live in South Bend. So like that's how much he cares.
And Golick can't get there soon enough.
Yeah.
He loves South
loves
Bend,
it.
the linebacker bar, whatever that place is.
Whatever it is. Yeah, whatever that. Yeah, exactly right. Chris Sims is just, he's
Flies in for the big game.
He's not even just the big game if it doesn't happen on a Saturday because he quote unquote has to work. I have to work. I can't take my kids to see football today. So for a Thursday game he can do, a Friday game he can do, Saturdays. Please.
Right.
And we don't even need to get into his relationship with the University of Texas. It's not for me to get into. We're not getting into that. They hate him. We're not getting into it. We're not getting into it.
It's the linebacker lounge, by the way. I'm sorry.
Whatever it is, doesn't matter.
Golick loves going there.
Oh, of course.
It's got a house there, right?
Yeah.
Sims flies in for the big games that aren't in Austin, by the way.
Yeah.
Not in Austin. He
Probably private also.
Probably
flies
in a private jet. Golick, the Golick family, the entire family, they're flying coach.
They literally drive a bus there from their house. Like they go on a bus from one house to the other house. Now, when you say one house to another house, it takes the meat and potatoes out of the relatability to the Golics. You know what I mean? But just remember, bus.
From their Arizona house to their South Bend house.
From one estate to the other. Not even state, estate.
But they're sitting in the back of the plane. The back row of first class on the plane.
They're not paying for upgrades on that plane. No chance.
The Golic bus, I like.
Hey, what happened to the Madden cruiser we talked about going on? Incidentally, we talked to Madden's son with the hopes of doing something on the Madden cruiser, and I just remembered that now. Season's winding down. How do we get on that bus?
Where were we taking the bus? I forget.
I think that we ended
Super Bowl?
No, I think that we were told that Belichick was doing something with the bus for the Super Bowl. Was it Belichick? I don't even remember. I think we just landed on... We're going to go on a golfing trip with John Madden's son and take his bus there.
I wonder what happened.
Yeah. I'm going to re-engage.
Who, Madden?
Yeah. I mean, because we talked to him when
Right.
the documentary was coming out or whatever on Amazon. And it's out now. So, like, I can understand at the time why a lot of people were reaching out. But, like, now,
Right.
if we talk to old Madden Jr., I feel like he wants to do stuff with us, right?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Hopefully. You think he remembers us? I mean,
I think he'd just be happy to talk to some friends.
so
And then when they don't call, he'll be happy to talk to us.
what's your strategy if Texas indeed wins this thing to neuter Chris Simms' excitement? Do you have, remind him how much the school hates him, or?
I don't know.
Right. You don't know yet.
I mean, we'll ask
We
him.
gotta
Like,
think about
they,
something. Who did Texas lose to this year? Just Georgia, right?
You know what we got to do? We need
Georgia
to,
twice, though.
You know what we
Twice.
need to do is we need to just like go hard on Major Applewhite. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
bring him on, have him be our Texas correspondent, celebrate him.
We only talk NFL with you, Sims.
Yeah, you're you're NFL guy.
Major's our guy.
Applewhite's our college guy, and he'll get it. I mean, it's not the
Texas guy.
first. It's not the first time he'll have that feeling. You know.
We'll get to Lucy in a second. What's the strategy with Golic if they win?
It's just to ignore his calls.
No. How about the Northern Illinois coach?
Just to torment him with the guy. He won't care. He'll be national champion.
Yeah, but he lost in Northern Illinois.
I don't want Notre Dame to win. It's not that I don't want Mike to be happy. Like, I know that he goes around and he has the diabetes and all that stuff. I don't know the shape of his ticker, you know? Like, I don't want him to get too worked up and too excited about winning the national championship, and then all of a sudden, no more Mike Golic. It'd be terrible. The worst case scenario. He gets too excited.
You don't know what winning a championship would do to the ticker.
That's what I'm saying. I'm a little worried. If I was him, I'd be like, let's get our physical now, just in case.
Right.
Because there's a path. There's a path for them to be national champions. So I feel like it's better to address it on the front end. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then can I take it? Can I not? Maybe I don't watch the game. Maybe, there's something I can do here, there, cut out some red meat, whatever it may be. Walk around the block.
Right.
Glass of wine, all those things.
Preemptive, you're saying.
Exactly right. Yeah, now's when you've got to start getting your body
You
ready
want
and
him to start
conditioned.
working out now?
I take a working out of the equation. I just said, stop eating red meat, drink some wine, walk around the block. Like, come on, let's be real. There's 10 days here until the potential winning the national championship. There's no amount of working out that's going to change anything. So let's just change our diet a bit or something. Not get too excited.
Are we rooting for Penn State? I mean,
I don't know what we're doing.
You love football.
I just love it. I don't root for anyone. I just root for football. And for the next 5 days, we got it. For the next 5 days, I win.
Lucy next. Taylor.
Hi, everybody.
Our work will not go unused, okay? Top 14 backup quarterbacks will be used on God Bless Football. Backup quarterbacks.
Can you turn this mic on?
Billy, you're not excited?
Hello? There you go.
I had a list, me and Taylor had a list of top 14 backup quarterbacks
Oh, okay.
headed into the postseason.
That's very exciting.
Well, we're going to do it on God Bless Football.
Hi, Lucy. How are you?
He's not excited.
I'm all right. How are you guys?
Are you excited for the Orange Bowl?
I'm excited.
No.
Oh, good.
Are you excited for the Orange Bowl?
No.
Lucy, why are you not excited for the Orange Bowl? How could you, our biggest college football fan, not be excited for the Orange Bowl?
I'm actually beefing with the Orange Bowl right now. I have a lot of beef with them. Yeah. I don't want to name any names, but they've kind of ghosted us. So, like, we don't have credentials, and they will not respond to us. They didn't even say no. They just ghosted us. But I've talked to them. So they're literally ghosting us. We've had communication. So we don't know what we're going to do.
Stugotz and Taylor just got in a fight over a cup of water. It was
Taylor
quite
came in to
exciting.
grab a cup of water. It's like a bottle of water, perhaps I understand. A cup of water? Like, what are we doing here, Taylor?
Yeah, he took it, and Stugotz got very agitated. And
That was not me. That was
He's
GQ
like, "I need
saying,
that back."
get that water out of there.
Yeah. Well, there's a sign that says no food or drinks in this studio. Just heads up.
Really?
Yeah, I never listen.
Me neither.
Happy New Year, Lucy.
Happy New Year, guys.
Did you do anything fun? How was the Rose Bowl?
It was kind of boring as well. It gave me horrible flashbacks to when I went as a fan and Iowa lost by 30 points. But it's always nice to be back in LA, so I spent the week in LA. And yeah, the Rose Bowl is always like even if the game sucks, it's such a beautiful, like, surreal experience. Every time I go, I'm just so grateful.
You seem a little down in the dumps right now. I don't know what it is.
You seem down on college football, the one thing that you love.
I want to play a game with you if you
okay.
would like.
Lucy or
to
Goosey?
indulge me.
Up.
No, it's not Lucy or Goosey. And it's not necessarily a fun game, but I feel like it might be a necessary game. It's called What's Good. I used to play this with my friend Allison Turner all the time,
Okay.
usually on the phone. And this is how it works. If one of us was down in the dumps, we'd say, "What's good?" And we just kind of try to, put out into the universe all the good things that we should be happy about.
I have something good.
Okay.
You do.
I have something good that no one thought would happen. I didn't think would happen. The world didn't think would happen. I think the universe is pushing back on us because this happened. Are you guys ready?
Oh, wow. You're taking over the game. I love it.
You ready?
Yeah.
Iowa got a quarterback.
Wow.
A good one.
Come
A good
on.
one.
There's no
good.
such thing as a good Iowa
Yeah,
quarterback.
we got one.
That's good.
South
Billy,
Dakota State.
I think Billy
Welcome.
was in the process, though, of explaining to you how to play the game. Like, is there a way
Yeah,
she has
I
to
feel like
deliver
No,
that, Billy?
she gets it. She gets it.
I won.
She just
Iowa
won
got
the
a
game,
quarterback.
apparently.
Wow, and his last
Eat
name
shit,
is
losers. We got a quarterback.
Branowski.
Oh, wow.
I feel like his brothers are going to be on
National
this show at any
champion
point.
winning.
Yes.
Yeah.
Feels more like a defensive tackle's name, right?
Mark Gronowski.
Yeah.
Mark Gronowski.
Guard.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Holding number 73, Gronowski.
Are you ready to have a quarterback?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
It's a good question.
I've lived a long life without an Iowa quarterback. 26 years. We've had some bright moments here and there. Shout out Ricky Stanzi, but we've got a quarterback. This was the top guy in the portal remaining, but still very exciting.
How many guys left before he was the top guy remaining?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so there was the John Batiste from Wazoo. People really wanted him. They wanted Jackson Arnold from Oklahoma, and they wanted our guy Mark, but we got him.
So you got the third best quarterback in the portal, which is big news for Iowa. You should be happy today.
No, number one in my heart.
Yeah, number one at the time.
I believe that's good.
Also,
Right.
Quinn Ewers is probably going to be in the portal. At some
Yes,
point
but
in
not
time.
going to Iowa.
But at the
we
time,
can't afford him.
he was the number one at the time.
What do you make of that, Lucy, that whole story, where we've arrived at a guy who might forego the NFL draft and go to another college for a fifth season for, I guess the reports are somewhere between $6 to $10 million a year, which is more than he would make in the NFL. We've arrived there, and we've gotten there pretty quickly, which is amazing.
I think I'm kind of the minority in this, where I think that rocks. We have seen so many times where great college quarterbacks have gone to the NFL and been terrible. Or so many times where you've been just electric in college football and hadn't even had the chance to go to the NFL. So, like, Quinn Ewers is a guy that's kind of had ups and downs this season. We're not necessarily, I don't believe he'll be a fantastic NFL quarterback. So for him to get the chance to make as much money as he can right now, like, I'm all for it. I want everyone to get paid and be happy.
It feels like 12 teams was about 7 too many. What do you think?
Yeah, I liked this last round. I thought seeing what happened with Texas, Arizona State kind of made the expansion worth it. I still think we went a little too far overboard with 12 teams. I've been telling you guys that forever. But I also think kind of the biggest problem with the 12-team playoff, at least in the first round, was how everyone just wouldn't shut up about how much it sucked. And I think that if we stopped talking so much about how it sucked, I think we would have enjoyed it more.
I'm
looking at you, all the ESPN announcers.
This is how I'm trying to look at it, Lucy, right? Is that it's been somewhat disappointing so far, right? It hasn't been like the level of excitement I think that everybody was hoping for, but
There's been one great game.
But now is when last year's playoffs kick in. You know what I mean? So, like, now is the playoffs.
The real playoffs.
Now's the real playoffs. The other stuff was extra playoffs. Now's the real playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Even though we live in a world where Penn State or Notre Dame might be national champions.
Well, we do, but Lucy, I do wonder, like, if we were under the old college football playoff system last year, okay, and they were just selecting 4 teams, of the 4 teams that are playing, 2 on Thursday, 2 on Friday, of the 4 teams that are playing, which team gets left out because Oregon is in?
Probably Ohio State
know.
would have gotten left out.
Yes.
2 losses, and it's funny because Ohio State right now is kind of the team to beat. They look better than everyone else, and they feel like kind of a clear favorite right now to win the national championship, which is like why this 12-team playoff or expanded playoff is better, because potentially we don't know. I think last year's the perfect example. Georgia probably was the best team in the country, but they lost 2 games and they were not able to go play in the SEC champion or the college football playoff after losing the SEC championship. You're going to not run into that anymore, where Ohio State might be the best team in the country, but they would have been out with the Oregon loss and Michigan loss. So I do think that the expanded playoff has issues. I think they're fixable issues. I think seeding's weird. I think the conference championship thing is weird. But for the most part, like, we are seeing maybe not the 4 best teams. I don't know if I'd put Penn State in there. But sorry, Penn State, you've been playing well. I don't know why I'm shitting on you. That was unnecessary.
You've been telling us all season you like Penn State, that Penn State is legit good. Like, listen, the one benefit of the playoff is we found out. No, you did. You said that at one point.
Yeah, all the time. You said it all the time.
You say it all the time. You said it every week.
Sometimes you just text me.
Right.
That
I'm in a
exact
bad
thing.
mood. Don't worry about it.
I think the one benefit of the playoff is at least we figured out before we got to the Final Four that Oregon stinks. So
we played what's good to get you
Oregon-
out of the bad mood. You can't still be in the bad mood.
Oh, no, Iowa got a quarterback. That's why I'm not excited for Notre Dame Penn State. I've left that type of football in the past.
Oh. Did you get new
I'm
headphones?
not familiar with that anymore. No, I've had these for a while.
Oh, all right. I thought maybe that was a good thing. I was trying to point out something good.
Oh, no, I've had these for a long time. Sorry.
which of the 2 games are you most excited for?
Definitely Texas, Ohio State. Notre Dame Penn State is like a perfect sickos game, and I still am a sicko at heart. So if you like defense, yay, Orange Bowl. If you want just like crazy shit to happen, Texas, Ohio State is a little more up that alley. I will say we kind of have to look out. They might postpone that game. There's supposed to be really bad weather in the Dallas area, like lots of snow. People won't be able to get to the stadium. So things are kind of up in the air with that right now. But I just think that that game has the potential for a lot more explosive, fun things to happen. I think Notre Dame, Penn State is going to be very similar to Notre Dame, Georgia, where it took a long time for anything to happen.
Billy, you excited for this? I feel like you're not as
I'm excited.
Are you?
Yeah, why not?
I mean, you love Penn State, huh?
It'll be fun. Yeah. You don't think it'll be fun?
I don't know. There's something I have to be honest. I missed the 14 playoff. I mean, I don't like. Lucy, these games were bad. Like, we had all this time to sit around and figure out how we're going to do a 12-team playoff, and what we came up with is Boise State getting a bye week. Like, like Arizona State on a bye week. Something feels wrong about it. I don't feel like we saw the best 12 teams in the country.
But we have, like, meaningful football now, Thursday and Friday.
We'd have it anyway.
Into Wild Card Weekend on Saturday, Sunday,
fair.
and Monday. We have, like, if you're just a football lover, you have 5 straight days of football that matters.
Maybe it's the newness of it, Lucy. Just something feels off about this college football season. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't feel that. I think that, like, there are issues with the playoff format. And I know that you say, oh, okay, they had all this time to figure it out. These are people who I don't trust their judgment, period.
That's
so
fair.
We just need the right people making the right decisions. I think we're going to see some changes definitely in seeding because, like, Oregon objectively kind of got screwed where you are the only undefeated team remaining and yet you have to play Ohio State in your first round. Like, that sucks. That doesn't really seem fair. Where, like, maybe if Oregon had Penn State's path, it probably would have been a little bit different. So seeding, I think most likely we're going to see things change where it's not the 4 conference championships, but just the rankings as they are. Also, I kind of think conference championships are just like superfluous at this point. I don't think they really serve any purpose. I think you could just get rid of that. It's interesting that all 4 teams on a bye lost. So things are odd. It's going to take some fixing. It's going to take some reworking, but like you still have Texas, Ohio State, Notre Dame, Penn State in the playoff. Those are 4 very good football teams, and they're evenly matched. Maybe not as much than the Texas-Ohio State game with the way Ohio State's playing right now, but like it will all course correct. It's just this was a first year, a trial year, and we need people who are better at making the decisions.
The funny thing about the seeding that you're mentioning is because we asked you, like, if, it was just the classic 4 teams, would any of these teams not be in it? And you're like, well, 3 of the 4 would probably still be in the 4. But when you look at the seedings, it's teams 5, 6, 7, and 8. So then if you're not really paying attention and saying, well, 3 of the 4 of them are actually the 4 best teams in the country, because of kind of like the wonky seedings, you could look at the numbers and be like, wow, this is working out great. None of these teams would have been in the playoffs. It's like, no, 3 of the 4 probably would have been in the playoffs anyways.
I need a 1 seed in the,
that's
in the Final
thing.
Four.
The initial.
That's the problem. Billy, you identified the problem. We have like an 8 versus a 6. It doesn't make sense.
The initial champion is best case scenario going to be a 5 seed.
Right.
Worst case scenario, an 8 seed. Right. Which I feel like is what's throwing you off here. Is that you don't want a national champion that has a little number 7 next to their name or an 8.
Right.
Well, wouldn't Texas also have been out because Georgia won the SEC?
Yeah, Texas might have made it just because the only 2 losses were to the same team. Mm-hmm. My question for you, Stu, is had that targeting call gone differently in Arizona State, Texas, Arizona State then wins that game, is your position on this any different?
Ooh. What seed is Arizona State? What was it?
I think they were the 4.
So I have a 4 next to their name. I don't want Arizona State in my college football Final Four. I don't. Not today, not tomorrow, not ever. No, I don't. I'll take Iowa. I mean, Iowa's fine.
Okay.
I do not want an
We have a quarterback.
Yeah, listen, I've said the same thing about March Madness in college basketball. I am fine with the Cinderellas right up until the Elite 8. Then get the hell out of my Final Four. I don't need them. I don't want them. I mean, who wants Arizona State? I mean, you do. Really?
Yes,
I do. Cam Scadabo was so fun. And that was just like, that game was kind of like, if that game had gone differently and trended sort of the way we thought after the first half, the Texas was just going to kind of run away with it.
Right.
I think we would have some like serious playoff discourse about, is this format right? Is this not? Even though we're having that conversation right now. But like Arizona State giving us that kind of like miracle performance really sort of saved the idea of, automatic bids and stuff like that. And things are going to continue to change and warp with the playoff, but like Arizona State, weird enough, our saviors, our darlings. Who would have thought?
Billy, you identified the problem. It's an 8 next to Ohio State. Now they're this scrappy 8 seed who made it to the Final Four. They're the most talented fucking team in the country.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the curse. I don't know what that's about.
They did lose to Michigan.
Yeah.
Wait, Lucy, if
that's
you
a good loss, quality loss, Lucy. I know you love those.
Lucy,
I know they beat Alabama. What the heck?
make me feel better. Put better numbers next to these teams. If you were to rank the 4 teams remaining, how would you rank them? 1 through 4.
Okay, I would go Ohio State 1, Notre Dame 2, Texas 3, Penn State 4.
Okay. All right. I feel better. Thank
Why?
you. Because there's a 1, 2, 3, and a 4, not a 6, 7, 5, and an 8. That's why. I don't know.
Well, why don't you just like re-rank them
can't.
yourself and then just count that?
Yeah.
You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, I guess you're right. What's the
Arizona State made the playoff. There's no rules.
I don't want Arizona State in my playoff. What's the championship game you're most rooting for? Is it Notre Dame, Ohio State?
I think so. Yeah, I kind of think that's where I'm rooting. I think that's the best matchup. Notre Dame has been kind of an interesting case because they didn't really play a particularly tough schedule this season. So to see the way that they've played against both Indiana and Georgia was super, super convincing. I do know that Carson Beck didn't play for Georgia, but like that ended up not being the problem. Gunnar had a really good game, and it was just Notre Dame was dominant, defensively. They did everything they wanted to do. Yeah, that feels like the best matchup right now, the 2 most talented teams. Although I think funniest case scenario is Ohio State, Penn State in the national championship game, and then James Franklin losing the big game to Ohio State again. That's kind of hilarious.
Yeah, but he's big game James now because he's 2-0 in the postseason. Yeah. I mean, that's the other problem I have. I said this at the beginning of the season. All a 12-team playoff does is prolong the career of James Franklin, who couldn't get in when it was 4 teams.
Wasn't that kind of funny, though?
Yes.
Yeah. Isn't that worth it?
We can't live in a world
okay
where Notre
with it.
Dame's national champion, right, Lucy? Like, we just can't. We can't have that world.
Yeah.
Does Jess listen to this show?
No, probably not.
Which
Then,
fan?
yeah, no, we
We
can't.
cannot.
If
Thank
she
you.
does
Finally,
listen, they can.
She can't.
They
We
can.
can't.
Just listen to this show.
Look, this is Lucy. This is how I was trying to spin it earlier this week to tell Stugotz.
Yeah.
Because the reality is Jess, the Golics. I mean, it's not that I don't want them to be happy. I just don't want to hear about Notre Dame from them and everyone else in the world, right?
You want to hear about Penn State?
So this,
though?
no, well, I won't hear about Penn State. I live in circles where I'm
We
not
don't
going to
know
hear about
anyone.
Penn
Yes,
State.
you're
Yeah,
right.
I'm fine. Here's the thing, and this is the way that I was trying to spin it. I'm like, because Stugotz is like, wouldn't it be great for the Golics if Notre Dame won? And I was like, it actually would be really bad for the Golics if Notre Dame won, because right now the Golics have kind of a monopoly on the faces of Notre Dame publicly in the media. So then when there's like paid speaking appearances at Notre Dame, homecoming, this and that Notre Dame, they bring them in. As soon as Notre Dame wins a national championship, old news. We're going to have all of the present Notre Dame players getting all of those opportunities.
Or recently graduated players,
so
right?
it's best for the Golics for Notre Dame to continue to lose.
Otherwise, Kyle Rudolph's taking over.
That's what I'm thinking.
I'm with you.
I don't actually believe that. That's just how I'm saying it, so I don't sound like a jerk saying I just don't want them to be happy.
I want all my friends to be happy.
Same, but not them.
Especially Jessica, more than everyone else.
Right.
However, I kind of hate Notre Dame getting rewarded for not joining a conference. Screw you. You
same.
think you're better than me. No, you're not.
Right.
You're a Big Ten team and you know it.
They were ahead of the times, Lucy. They were. Notre Dame.
Look, yeah, and it's very frustrating because they have the perfect system built. It just works out perfectly for them, and it's going to work out perfectly for them every other year. Whereas us lowly schools and conferences are going to continue to have to fight and struggle, and I'm not okay with that.
More annoying fan base, Notre Dame or Penn State?
Oh, probably Notre Dame, but not Jessica. She's never been annoying in her life ever, and she's perfect and never made a mistake. And anyone who says she has is lying.
Oh.
How about Texas, Ohio State? Annoying fan base.
I would say Ohio State. My hot take is Ohio State fans aren't that bad. There's just like one small group of them that are just so loud and so awful and so bad that the rest of them kind of get lumped in. Ohio State fans were beyond pleasant. We went, well, it was before the game for Michigan, Ohio State, and I've had a great experience. Texas fans also super nice. So I'm going to say just the small segment of Ohio State fans, but not the entire fan base.
If you gave Ryan Day the choice of playing any of the three remaining playoff teams besides his team, to play Ohio State, if you gave Ryan Day the choice of playing Texas, Penn State, Notre Dame, or Michigan, does he choose Michigan?
Oh, not a chance. No way.
They're the worst team by far, Lucy.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Who cares?
Doesn't matter.
You could win the national championship and play Michigan in an exhibition game after, and if he loses, they're gonna boo him out of Columbus. No shot would he choose Michigan. He would pick Penn State every single day. He's gonna try to start convincing all of us that Ohio State Penn State is a bigger rivalry.
But he's the best coach of the four coaches remaining. I think Ryan Day is probably the best coach, right?
No, yeah, he's a phenomenal coach. Look at the way that Ohio State has played this postseason. They were beating the shit out of everyone they play, including a very good Tennessee team and even better Oregon team. Like, he has put together such a dominant performance, which, watching that Rose Bowl game, I was like, wow, this is just an ass kicking. This is great. Okay, we're done. I'm just going to scroll on Twitter, whatever. And then always the thought creeps in, like, how did they lose to Michigan? How did that happen? That game gets dumber every single day. So, I do think he's a very good coach, but, you got to figure it out against those guys.
We're potentially going to have a national champion that lost to Michigan or a national champion that lost to Northern Illinois.
Yeah.
What is going on?
Yeah, that's. I don't love that.
I know.
I don't love that.
Who's the quarterback you trust the most headed into the Final Four here?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't necessarily know if I really trust a lot of these guys, especially with maybe Riley Leonard. He hasn't been phenomenal. He wasn't great against Georgia, but he can run. Will Howard just wakes up and decides if he wants to be a good quarterback or not. You just can't really tell. That's why I still have a little trepidation with Ohio State. Maybe Quinn Ewers, definitely not Drew Aller. I don't think it's a particularly strong quarterback class for this Final Four.
Billy, it just dawned on me we should have if Notre Dame wins, have the Northern Illinois coach on with Golic, and he should anoint himself the national champion.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
What do you think?
I'm down with that.
You
Let's do
cannot
that.
have a team win a national championship that has lost to Northern Illinois. You can't. Yeah, there's something off about this. And the Super Wildcard weekend doesn't help because now college football and its final 2 games and these championship games feels like an appetizer to the NFL. You know?
I mean, but they're going to have their
I'm
own
okay with
game for
that.
the national championship. It's fine.
They should have a standalone, Lucy.
I think that the biggest issue should be moving the national championship to a Saturday. Let's quit doing this Monday shit. That's stupid.
Wow. Well, now we're starting
Saturday
to interfere
sport.
with NFL, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're
You were
Yeah, well, that's not their
Saturday.
day. All they want to do
now.
is take our day.
This
They
time
want
of year it is.
so-
I don't care what they want.
Lucy, they wanted
No one cares
Christmas.
what
They took
I
Christmas.
want.
They took
Yeah.
Christmas. I mean,
Super
You
Bowl
got a
Saturday.
quarterback.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we
Let's
did
just-
get a quarterback.
One thing at a
didn't
time.
we?
Santa Claus brought you a quarterback.
Be
all
happy
right?
with
We're gonna
Gronowski.
ruin him.
That's probably true.
We're gonna ruin him.
It's such a great question. Do you want, because people often ask me what Billy was asking you about having a quarterback and if that changes things. I don't know. Mikey, how would you respond if the Jets won a Super Bowl? I feel like it would take away from the luster and the pain of being a Jet fan, don't you? I wouldn't know how to act if they won a Super Bowl.
I'm sure I wouldn't know either, but you know what? I'd love to find out. I'd love to find out if it changes anything.
I like being this miserable fan base, though. I'm kind of used to it, you know?
Yeah.
No, I'm good. We can change it.
Well, but that's why, because I thought Lucy was kind of okay because she's been in it so long, being that team in the Big Ten that scores 6 points a game. Like, I thought she loved that. There was
On a good
something,
day.
yeah, there was something bonding with the fan base about that. And now you lose that when you're scoring 52 a game, Lucy.
Okay, well, we'll never score 52 a game.
Well,
We
you
don't have to
might
worry
if this
about
guy's
that.
good. I mean,
Possible.
Right.
I think if there's one person to blame, and I hate to blame her because I think she's also perfect and never made a mistake, Caitlin Clark gave me a little taste of what it's like, to see just someone so electric playing for your favorite team, to go to the national championship twice. I've been just feasting for I need another one of those moments. It's like a drug. I'm like, we have to go back to the national championship. I don't care what sport it is because she was so electric. So now that we have a quarterback who I don't think is Caitlin Clark, but I still think he's very, very good. I'm like, I can see it. 12-team playoff, I love it. Let's expand it, actually. Expand it just to the number where Iowa gets in, and we lose in the first round, and I'll be very pleased.
He's no Chuck Long, Lucy.
No one's Chuck Long. Come on.
Wait, do you have a top 5 Iowa quarterbacks of all time? This would be great.
I think I could. Yeah, I could do it.
Okay.
Can I go just 1 to 5? Because that's easier.
You can go 1 to 5. Chuck Long
Okay.
is going to be 1, right?
Yeah. Chuck
It's
Long
Iowa
is
quarterbacks.
1.
Do it however you want.
Yeah. Yes, you're right. Okay, so Chuck Long is 1.
I thought
because
you were.
what-
I thought you were going to put the kid that you just got out of the portal at number 1. But anyway, go ahead.
No, not yet. Okay, so Chuck Long is 1, closest Heisman vote ever.
Yep.
Brad Banks is 2.
I forgot
we'll
about Brad
put-
Banks.
Oh, Brad Banks electric. He was our only quarterback that was ever really a great dual threat guy, and Kirk Ferentz came out and was like, I really didn't want him to play here, but it worked out. And we're like, okay. All right, 3, we'll include the new guy. We'll do Mark. Mark, welcome. You're my top 5.
Welcome,
High
Mark.
expectations.
Wow.
4, maybe not he's my personal favorite, Ricky Stanzi. I love him. That was my
Right.
first childhood crush. Huge fan of Ricky Stanzi. Wow. And then 5, we'll go CJ Beathard. Why not?
Okay. I love it.
That's it.
The guy who hasn't played a snap for Iowa is number 3. I love that.
Yeah, well, I have high hopes for him, I didn't feel this way when Cade McNamara committed. I did it.
All right, who's going to win
gonna
these
be
games?
different.
Who's going to win these games, Lucy? Tell us.
I think Ohio State beats Texas probably by 10 points. I think Notre Dame beats Penn State by 3 points.
And Notre Dame,
And
Ohio
I think that score is 3-0.
3-0. And Notre Dame, Ohio State, what are you thinking there?
I think Ohio State wins. If they continue to play the way they're doing, it's tough for anybody to beat them.
Does Ryan Day get fired if they win?
If they win, Ryan Day does not get fired, but they're like, hey, buddy, hey, we see this. We're not forgetting about this. All right?
Would Ohio State rather have beaten Michigan and lose in the championship game?
Yeah, I'm going to say no on that. I'm going to
crazy.
say the crazy little segment that Kirk Herbstreit always references, they feel that way. But just like to be a Michigan fan, which I am not, but to be a Michigan fan, see Ohio State win the national championship. They're one of their best teams ever, one of the best teams in college football history. And to have beaten that team is probably got to feel pretty great.
I think Michigan should throw a parade in Ann Arbor if Ohio State wins the
They
national
should.
championship.
They should.
Can we get behind that? You and I. Can we get behind it?
Michigan is going to be the first team to ever be national champions and then repeat as transitive national champions.
All right, Lucy, have a safe trip down here. I'm glad you perked up towards the end of this because college football is the thing that you love, and it seems to make you sad now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's hard for you to relate. I have a quarterback now. I've completely changed this person.
Wow.
The third greatest
Remember, we had
quarterback.
Aaron Rodgers. We had Aaron
is
Rodgers.
true.
We thought we had one too.
That is. Thought we
They're
had
not
one.
the same.
Hold on a second.
What
Mikey
happened?
just said we thought we had a quarterback too.
Well, we did.
Yeah, but we're implying here that Mark Gronowski is not going to pan out potentially.
Well, Mark Gronowski is not Aaron Rodgers either, but anyway.
Yeah, he's better. He's better than Aaron Rodgers. Do you know how hard it is to win a national championship at South Dakota State? Not that hard. They're kind of
I was going
like
to say,
a mini
don't they win
dynasty.
every year?
Yeah, no, it's really not that hard. They didn't win this year.
It's them or North Dakota State.
Oh,
right?
wow. They didn't win this
Yep.
year, so you got the bad one. You got their bad
No, we didn't.
quarterback.
We
They
didn't
got
get the
rid of
bad
him.
one.
They're like, oh, this guy can't get
He
the
was-
job done. Send him to Iowa.
He was too focused on the future. He was just dreaming of 21-14 final scores, being like, I'm going to change this program.
It is the good thing about all the college football changes. The portal, the good thing about it is that kid can go to Iowa now and have a platform that's big enough where if he's good, the NFL is going to come calling. So,
Yeah, and like even if he's not good, he probably got paid a lot of money to go to Iowa.
right. How much do you think he got paid?
$72.
Wow.
It's got to be like at least
72.
It's got to be like $2 million though, right?
All I know is that I think Cade McNamara allegedly got $100K.
Cade McNamara? How many games
Money
did he
down the
start?
drain. Oh God, too many. He was very bad.
College football.
Very-
Going from
very
South
bad.
Dakota to Iowa, is he going to be able to handle the budding metropolis? Is he going to be able to handle all that nightlife and stuff?
Yeah.
Look,
That's a
I
good
think he's from
question.
Naperville. So Naperville basically is a feeder system. Everyone from Naperville goes to the University of Iowa, so he'll be home. He's already ready. We're going to ruin him.
A budding metropolis. All right, Lucy, enjoy the games. Enjoy your new quarterback. We'll see you down here in South Florida.
I'll see you in the playoff next year, actually.